Hey guys, in this video I'll be showing you a duo gameplay of Tank Harley as the jungler with my friend playing Obsidia. First of all, Harley got a lot of juicy buffs lately. His downtime is a lot more lower due to his low second skill cooldown, which becomes nearly spammable with just 20% CDR, making him able to enter and exit battle more frequently. To be tanky, you might think I would recommend Clock of Destiny, but nah. That item takes too much time to be useful. Anyway, back to Tank Harley. These two items are the main key players for his early game tankiness and poke damage. If you are wondering why I used Focusing Mark, well, that's because his ultimate deals additional damage to an enemy depending on damage taken within that ult duration. That also includes your teammates' damage. In other words, I used it because if my teammates' damage gets increased, I can also add the final detonation damage. And I'm already playing him as a tanky jungler. Giving more utility to my teammate is also something good.
LOL.
As the jungler, you gotta try taking the creeps from the enemy jungler. Not just the buffs, but the small jungler camps like Litho Wanderer, or even the Rock Golem and Lizard. These little decisions help you deny the enemy core's farm, and are helpful to your teammates, so they don't die easily when being ganked. As you can see, my first item is to rush CD boots, because combining it with the blue buff is what helps to make him slippery as early as possible, so he can keep using his 2-1 combo. After that, I prioritize BIS, then get Thunderbelt. Before you want to comment that a mage like Harley shouldn't build Thunderbelt, let me tell you this. Harley is an assassin first, then mage. That's why he has this extremely high mobility and burst damage. Because he's assassin first, the 50% penalty on mages do not apply to him, and he can benefit fully from Thunderbelt's passives.
我操，还遇上了一个，
哦，在我这里没有啊。
没有没有，他去上路。
Instead of arcane boots, I got magic shoes for the early CDR. However, Flame Retribution gives 71-120 hybrid attack for free, which is 82 attack at level 4, basically equivalent to a tier 3 item. That's why the damage is still fine even without the pen setup, but of course not as bursty.
Clock 还没有 level 4。
Now that I have got BIS, an item which greatly increases my early game survivability, I decided to play more aggressively and lower the enemy's HP, so they are forced to recall, and I will have an easier time taking the turtle. Unfortunately, after trading these blows, I don't have enough HP to start taking the turtle. However, what you are about to see is a very interesting early game wild goose chase.
用这个我应该不会死，我再抢到一个野，我觉得写完了会死得很可怜。
傻逼耶！这卡利亚也是一个傻逼耶。
我要死了，我死了。
拜拜。哪里有事？
我很可怜。我死得很可怜。哦，你看到吗？看到吗？看到吗？我死了，
我没有看过，
我死得可怜了。 真搞笑，有一个人位移来位移去，死不了一点。
Bro，
喂，我要死了，我要死了，我要死了，我给野怪杀死了。
拜拜。
耶，他跟野战。
This
有没有
Harley
game过
already
射手
has
也超
20%
好了
CDR,
对，我
thanks
这
to
里
the
都没有东
boots and
西
the blue buff.
笑死我。
This is why I
我不买
even
这种。
dared to do this risky play. If I got arcane boots, sure, I deal extra damage, but I'm not using the latest second skill buff properly. Oh well, that turtle contest didn't end up well, but it became another fun team fight again. We definitely got the better end. I even completed my first core item Thunderbelt this early. This is also when I start to become too overly confident, or should I say, too attracted to gain Thunderbelt stacks.
谁是团？
我啊，
哦，
At this point, after getting the 2 defense items, I go for Starlium Scythe. Remember, this Harley is not using his usual burst build, and he needs some cooldown reduction stats and different ways of dealing damage instead of stacking pen with his defense reduction passive. As an alternative to Genius Wand, I go for Starlium, which is a magic item I rarely use on magic heroes nowadays since the nerfs it got, not even Harith. However, it actually synergizes with this tank Harley playstyle. You get 2 true damage on your basic attacks, Thunderbelt with 4 seconds CD, and Starlium with 5 seconds CD. Both of them have true damage and slow effects. Combining the slow helps you to increase your first skill hit rate by a very noticeable margin. This was pure greed and overconfidence. Although I have a decent amount of hybrid defense and survivability, I should not engage too deeply just to get a Litho Wanderer here. Moving on, I decided to not dive in on my own, as I don't have many stacks of Thunderbelt's passive yet, since all it takes is a simple stun to interrupt my slipperiness. That's a different story when I have enough defense, but for now it's better to be more cautious. Once you have enough cooldown reduction and second skills level, you can use it again after every 2 seconds. Further into the late game, it will become totally no downtime.
是的。
No no no！ OK 我。可以呀、可以呀、我弹起来了，我弹起来了。
笑死我。
OK， 是时候转短的表。
Just gotta keep dashing in and use a basic attack, triggering both true damage of Thunderbelt and Starlium Scythe, while gaining 1 Thunderbelt stack or more if you happen to land your ranged basic attack on a group of enemies close to each other. Compared to the earlier reckless dives, you notice that my survivability has improved a lot.
Yo is like what the hell, bro？ 一个比一个恶心。
At this point of just 11 minutes into the game, I already have about 20 Thunderbelt stacks, whose effect isn't reduced to 50% because as mentioned earlier, he's Assassin first, then Mage. Ranged basic attack naturally makes him a fast Thunderbelt stacker.
10万元。
因为我死不了，我是个坦。你们那补就要死人了，他不用 recall 啦，大佬，你可以回血的嘞。Oh my god， 废了。 哇，我以为你死掉了。OK， 你真死了。
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
我倒了，我傻逼。我要被骂呀。
Damn, I got so careless here and used my retribution too early and lost the Lord. But anyway, the enemies are not gonna make a comeback just because of this. Tank Harley isn't that easy to be shut down. By the way, now that I've got concentrated energy, my damage is also gonna be increased. Since his playstyle becomes continuous poke with low downtime, he can easily maintain max stack of concentrated energy as well. Survivability-wise, it's also much better as his first skill does not have 50% spell vamp ratio like other mages. And since it is an item that grants hybrid lifesteal, my basic attack can also help me sustain a little. Just look at how aggressive I can be, and still deal a decent amount of damage. The usual Harley build only grants him high damage, but the gameplay is often not as fun as this tank Harley build that can spam his skills going in and out, and definitely way more riskier. This Harley can be a lot more aggressive and annoying, and can start fights on his own without being too dependent on teammates.
别死了，这个吹咬他。
哎，我那个小小的那个，
我要死了，我要死了，我要死了，我要死了，我要死了！我被他，我吃了3个塔的子弹。
我想打你。
真的，我吃了3个塔，很恐怖。
我买 dominance 吗？
看你哦。你觉得你需要吗？我觉得你可以不用了，后期应该可以不用。
叫我买吗？
你要做坦就可以啊。
Just gotta keep going in and gain stacks whenever possible. Just be an annoying dick.
尖尖的。
哎！
我操！
喂，哎！哦，你快
！Cece's ult is kinda annoying. I guess I have to be careful when diving into a fight with her. But anyway, lesson learned.
看不到，眼睛盲有点。
我被个猪！我要去坐那个船，坐那个鱼。
Sorry for being this bad example. We could have ended the game here, but I always wanted to do these TikTok moments of using the enemy team's flying cloud. XD.
哇！这是我一水啊，飞去鸡蛋糕。
哇！我活着嘞！有人要死了！
跳！
叫我！
The last item is Holy Crystal. You can always opt for something else, such as Wishing Lantern or Divine Glaive, but I would personally prefer adding my Starlium Scythe and first skill damage directly, so I chose it instead.
等我，不要发神经 ！Oh my god！
我被困着了。
我看到太好笑了，你被一屁股坐死了。我来！等我！不敢去。
我在他的云那边，在那边玩，有点傻，反正就是我。I'm known to be shabby。
讲话我很怕那。我们就是那个 shabby 的，他来了。
Alright, after learning from the previous lesson, this time I won't miss my retribution for sure.
有人猪。啊 ，You dead？ 哦 ，I'm dead too. I'm almost dead. 没有了，死不了一点。哇，我还杀了他。对，我要绑着，被绑着，被绑着。
你快点搞笑！
很恐怖。
我被绑着，我被绑着，我。
对，我被两次要跑都是那个 CC 绑着我。
Honestly, yup. I was pretty afraid of CC. She deals HP-based damage, and her ult has been stopping me to teleport back to my hat. Fortunately, she was distracted with me and not able to defend their base. Well, that's all for today's video. I hope you found it entertaining and learned something new. And if you did, consider leaving a like and subscribing. Thanks and see ya!